So we saw Ayn's thoughts about Kant, but she also has some thoughts about utilitarianism. So here's the Ayn Rand quote about utilitarianism. The greatest good for the greatest number, I'm not going to try to do Ayn Rand's accent.
Thank you.
Is one of the most vicious slogans ever foisted on humanity. The slogan has no concrete specific meaning. There is no way to interpret it benevolently. That's weird that it has no specific meaning, but you also can't interpret it benevolently. But whatever. But a great many.
Well, I think all the ways of interpreting it are non-benevolent.
There we go.
Yeah.
But a great many ways in which it can be used to justify the most vicious actions. What is the definition of the good in this slogan? None, except what is good for the greatest number, which in any particular issue decides what is good for what in any particular issue decides who in any particular
issue decides what is good for the greatest number. Why the greatest number? Take it back over.
No, I was enjoying your Ayn Rand. If you consider this moral, you would have to approve of the following examples. So she's about to give us some things that you have to approve of if you're a utilitarian, which are exact applications of the slogan. Now, I'm not sure how the slogan could be hopelessly vague, but also have exact applications, but maybe all of the interpretations have these exact applications. And exact applications of the slogan in practice.
Ooh, the Nazis. Nazi warning.
51% of humanity enslaving the other 49. 9 hungry cannibals eating the 10th one. A lynch mob murdering a man who they consider dangerous to the community. All of those are things that utilitarians love. There were 70 million Germans in Germany and 600,000 Jews. The greatest number, the Germans, supported the Nazi government, which told them that their greatest good would be served by exterminating the smaller number, the Jews, and grabbing their property. This was the horror achieved in practice by a vicious slogan accepted in theory. All right, so now it's not just that the utilitarians would have to approve of it, it's that the Nazis did it because they were utilitarians.
Y'all better listen to Silver. I'm just saying. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Silver Harlow says that I will remind people that Professor Jennifer Burgis' ban on Kant puns remains in effect. So you can't say any of those. So
maybe you should be taking other women to 7-Eleven.
The greatest. But one might say the majority of these examples did not achieve any real good for itself either. No, it didn't, because the good is not determined by counting numbers. It is not achieved by the sacrifice of anyone to anyone. So, Jen.
Yes. Hi, J. Andrew. Yes.
Does Ayn Rand correctly understand what utilitarians are saying?
No.
So that phrase, the greatest good for the greatest number, where does that come from?
Jeremy Bentham.
I'm not.
Key of the Mummified Head.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, well, you have the picture. Yep. I didn't even know you had the picture.
That's
awesome.
That is Jeremy Bentham's head. When Jeremy Bentham talks about the greatest good for the greatest number, does he mean just taking a poll and seeing what everybody thinks is good?
No.
That's not what he means?
No. I have never seen the word poll mentioned in Bentham's writings.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Bentham and John Stuart Mill, who is Bentham's godson, wrote this book, Utilitarianism. If he doesn't just mean whatever you think is good, that if 51% of people think that, slowly torturing the other 49% to death is good, that Bentham and Mill are not actually counting this as good.
I would think not, no.
What do they think is good?
Pleasure, happiness, things like that.
So none of those things that were just listed would actually be justified by utilitarianism. Bentham really seems to just mean like pleasure. Mill's got a little bit more of a nuanced account of what happiness means. he's trying not to be quite crude about it, that like you sort of add up all the moments of pleasure.
Yeah.
And that's that, right? Like
Mhm.
he makes a distinction between higher and lower pleasures. And he says that, the sort of idea of happiness as a goal of life isn't a continuous state of excitement, but
Why not?
I mean, I guess if you can get that, then, like,
On my PowerPoint slide that says that, I have Snoopy doing the Snoopy dance.
right.
This is how we should live at every moment. Snoopy dance.
Yeah. And Mill argues that treating people justly, we sort of know from the experience of history over the long term, will lead to greater happiness, understood as the sort of happy life where, you have many good things and not very many bad things. And, the bad things aren't too bad, and etc. So that's Mill's argument. Now, it's worth saying there are about 10,000 better objections to utilitarianism than anything that Ayn Rand
Sure.
said there. You can watch us do when we were doing the separate Philosophy Friday streams before we moved it to Monday nights as a segment of the main show. You can watch us do one where we talk about a bunch of them. So classics include the Trolley Problem, which is not quite like you're killing 4 people to make 6 people happy, which would not actually, even according to Bentham, balance out. But it's about choosing. Okay, if you're going to kill one person, you can save 5 people's lives. Then do that. Another is Nozick, who is like Ayn Rand, a libertarian. I know that Ayn Rand cultists don't like to be referred to as libertarians because they have some finicky objection to the word, but I don't really care. Let's just say libertarian. So Rand and Nozick are both libertarians, but Nozick is like a vastly smarter libertarian, and he actually does have some good objections to utilitarianism, at least classical utilitarianism. Classical utilitarians believe that the good is just happiness, that you're having happy experiences. There are other libertarians who instead want to talk about like desire satisfaction or other things. But Nozick does have a pretty good objection to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
There we go.
So,
there we go.
Neo waking up from the Matrix, which is Nozick's point, is basically that when you think about the Matrix, if they made the Matrix really nice, Nozick thinks most of us would still not want to be plugged in there because we don't only value happiness, we also value
other stuff.
We value lots of other stuff. In this particular case, we value connection to objective reality, having true beliefs, stuff like that. But we also value, individual autonomy and et cetera, et cetera. Lots and lots of good objections to utilitarianism, certainly better than Ayn Rand is offering. Mm-hmm. So when you are confronted with the question, is Ayn Rand confused about X? For any value of X, how should you answer?
Yes.
You have been watching free public content from Give Them an Argument. To access every single episode of the show, the main show on Monday nights, all of the streams, all of the debate breakdowns, all of the patron-exclusive post-games on Monday nights, all of the patron-exclusive bonus episodes every week, and much, much more, go to patreon.com/Ben Burgis. I cannot resist ending this with, don't be foolish.